If you've ever looked at your holiday schedule and had that realization that, man, this is like being the CEO of a company, except I'm completely unpaid. Hello, you are not alone. If we are running around the holidays and we have those lists of all the gifts, the kids' programs, the extracurriculars, the family get togethers, the meals, the decorating, the list goes on. You know the list. This is on top of everyday life, but it amps up when the holidays roll around at the end of the year. And then throw in the time of year when there's sniffles and sicknesses and change of weather and snow and all the things that come with living in an area with 4 seasons. Welcome to motherhood during the holiday season, right? That's what we've been told. We've been told that this is just what you're signed up for. But here's the thing. You all of a sudden kind of have this reality like, wow, I feel like a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, but where's my C-suite, right? Oh, wait, it's the car that I'm driving around getting my gifts and the kids that are strapped in the back seat eating who knows what kind of snacks, right? But here's the thing, in a corporation, when you are running on amped schedules during the holiday season, if you would be running on the same expectation that we as moms have thought or have just been handed as a system that's just normal over the holiday seasons, this is actually in business called a recipe for absolute crash and burning your company to the ground. So when I saw this and had this aha moment, you'll hear me talk a lot about business analogies in the home because that is my background and where I started, and it goes hand in hand. So when I saw that all this extras around the holidays in my company was creating this extra, and how that also translated to the home, I was like, there has to be a different way. There has to be a different way outside of the norms, the status quo we've been just hooked into. It's the system we've been given. This is just the way it is. And hello, here's the thing. The background I come from, I grew up in an Amish culture. I grew up in an Amish family. At age 16, my family started questioning the narrative of what we had been told, and a huge portion of what we had been told all of our life was, oh, it's just the way it is. It's just the way we do it. It's just the way it is. So just buckle up, buttercup, because this is how we do it, except this one was linked to the Bible, as in the Bible says this, and this is the way. If you don't drive a horse and buggy, you have a straight drive to hell, right? Okay. Well, why do we drive a horse and buggy? I hated when people ask me those questions. Why? I don't know. Ask the bishop. I don't know. It's just we've always done it this way. The same thing happens around the holiday season. Why are we so stressed around the most magical time of the year? And I don't have elves. I don't have little secret elves going around wrapping Christmas presents at 3 a.m. Do you? Do you have those private chefs in your kitchen cooking up those meals that you committed to? Or, little buddy is sick again. What are we gonna do? It's supposed to be the most magical time of the year. This is when I realized that if I, as the mother, and I, as the woman in my home, and a CEO in my business, want to also experience the joys and magic of the holiday season during November and December, I better buckle up and lean in and question the systems, the routines, and the rhythms that I have been using, because trust me, they were there and I didn't really like them. But when I looked around me, I was like, most other people are just buzzed up on sugar. Their immune systems are running low, no energy, and the energy they have is all fake because it's running on caffeine. If you love caffeine, no, I'm not pointing the fingers. What I am saying is I was like, I really don't want to live this way. I love the holiday season. I want to buckle up and be present and look back and say, Oh, that was so beautiful. It was so fun. And launch into January, regenerated, rejuvenated, ready to embrace the new year. Is that you? If that is you, you are my kind of mother. And you are not the one that just wants to settle for the narrative that's just been handed to us of it. This is how it is. So, what do we do? This is where we really look at what are the traditions that we have been just methodically continuing on, whether we love them or not. What are we saying yes to? And are we aware of what we can say yes to? Are we aware of what our family is capable of doing around the holiday season? Are we aware of whether we can make all those homemade little cocoa gifts and homemade little cards that we say we want to give? What are the realistic expectations, right? Those are the things that I started to unpack. And I'm so excited. I have launched a holiday blueprint that will be the blueprint I use to navigate the holiday season when we're hosting, baking, making all the magical memories on top of just everyday life and running businesses that helps me as a woman thrive, and not just me, my family. That we go through the holiday season looking back and saying it is the best. December wasn't just if we make it through December. No, it was a December we want to remember, right? So those are some things that you can start to unpack, is taking an evaluation of what you say yes to. What are the traditions that you're carrying on that no longer serve you? What are the commitments that you have been making out of obligation versus a yes, 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 right? Now, family is very important to us. We host a lot. Those things are important, but the year that I birthed a baby on December 5th, that year I had zero expectations on me. I had zero expectations on my experience of the holiday season. It was my first time becoming a mother. And you know what? I had some setbacks. I had some postpartum issues. I had issues with breastfeeding. I had issues with tongue ties and lip ties and things I had never experienced before. Babies pooping in the middle of the night and my body going into a wild fritz because, I couldn't sleep after, the anxiety of not knowing what was wrong with my baby, right? That was an unexpected thrown into December of that year. But the good news was I didn't have an unrealistic expectation on me surrounding the holidays. I just knew I was having a baby. That's the only expectation I had, and adjusting to becoming a mom. So, buckle up, Buttercup. We are going to go through this holiday season. It's going to be the best one ever. And that is if we don't get on the automatic train to the North Pole that is busy, 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 and we are just automatically sideswiped as applying for a role that is an unpaid CEO role, and we feel like we are a victim. We are going to be a victor. We are going to take our positions as women in the home, where we can host, where we can do the things that we say yes to in a way that is empowering to us and our kids. We are not the women that are bitching, moaning, and complaining to our kids and our family, and then opening the door with the biggest smile on our face and saying, hello, we're so glad you're here. But when company leaves, we are just so happy that those tail lights are disappearing out of the driveway, right? I know that sounds dramatic, but the truth is that is where a lot of people, when they are in disempowered holiday gatherings and the stress and all the things, that's where they find themselves. So I put together a blueprint to thrive in the holidays. I have added the link below, and it's $20. It's the best $20 you'll spend this holiday season. I have the course in a format where it is easy to digest, meaning easy to watch, with practical, simple solutions to navigate through the holidays, and it is something that can be duplicatable and built on. You are practicing the muscle of having a different reality in your holiday season. The great news is it's not just for November and December when the height of the holidays are happening. It is also for that time frame the rest of the year when we have holidays. Have you ever noticed how many holidays there are in a year? And we kind of trick ourselves and lie to ourselves and say, oh, well, it's not that many, oh, we'll make it through this holiday, and then it's January, and before we know it, we're into Easter, and we're into all the other holidays that are coming up past that. So I love the holidays. My mama made it magical for us when we were little kids. Even when we were very poor in a house that had plastic on the windows when the wind blew, that we could hear it rattle. We had a roaring stove in the middle of our living room. My dad, I remember the magic of waking up on Christmas morning, and my dad had made us a homemade marble board. He had made us, and I also remember the Christmas morning when I woke up and there was a box of little goodies to make homemade cards. We didn't have a lot of presents. We usually had one. But it is not the amount, it is not the dollar amount, none of those things. You see, we try to give our kids a Christmas or a Thanksgiving or a holiday out of the lack of what we thought we were missing. And then we overdo, and our kids will remember how we made them feel during the holiday season. Not only that, you will remember how you feel. And you don't want to do it with mom guilt. No, we are not checking that box this holiday season. We are going to operate out of the overflow of who we are as women. We are empowered women to walk in our authority of who God says we are in His Word, not by our performance, but then we can work out of the overflow in practical, applicable ways. I can't wait to take you on this journey with me. And if you are not subscribed to this channel, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you could do me a favor as a thank you for bringing you this free resource, share this with your mompreneur bestie that you know wants to live an empowered holiday season beyond what you and I have been handed as the stress and running on caffeine and peppermint mochas to try and amp us up, right? I'm so glad you're here. And if you want the holiday blueprint to thrive beyond your wildest dreams this holiday, I have added the link in the comments. $20, the best $20 you spend this holiday season. So glad you're here. We'll see you next time. Bye.